Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. How's everybody doing? Is this thing working? Is this thing on? Hell, is this thing on? Hope so. Where's my sound checkers? Yeah, it's on. There we go. Amazing how many weeks in a row things have gone relatively flawless. I'm Sean. I like tabletop RPGs. And I like the people in the chat. Let's bring it all together. Little ASMR for you. Say I don't serve up value add. Right. All right. What is going on? Who's all here? Michael Holland, Ryan West, Hoos, Kristen, morning. Jake, morning. Harrigan, Blake, on occupants of the interplanetary craft, galactic interplanetary. Joe, morning, buddy. Question or topic of the day is, will Sean have a question or topic of the day? It's bright. This light is a little brighter than usual. Let me dim it down and set the mood a little bit more appropriately. Bear with me. Yeah, I got a topic of the day. I'm gonna put Ryan's question out there. Ryan, I will not, nor ever will, take you to our leader. Maybe you can talk to Hank or John Green. Gabe, good morning. Eileen, early today. Morning. Got something going on to you? You don't get up early? I am not. Hoos. Oh my God! You don't do that. Jim, morning. Laramie, good morning. 5x5, good to see, good to hear. Now I'm getting in my checks. All right. RPG Zone, 5x5. Tad, morning. All right. So topics of RPGs are interesting, as we seem to talk about them ad nauseum. It's good, right? Good. It's weird sometimes when I think about it, like a hobby that's 50-ish years old. We still talk about it like it was created yesterday. We're going to talk about everything. No, we haven't, says everybody that participates. So much more. Topic of the day, discussion. Pose this from Ryan West, who is in the chat. Hold on the tomatoes. Relax. He says in his post on Discord, mind you, if you're on our Discord, you've probably seen it. How about this for a Saturday stream topic? Ryan states, you run a game and never give your players the character sheet. Let them roll for attributes or attributes, skills, etc., or decide what they want their character to be good at. They could buy equipment or whatever, but you know their attributes and HP. Which kind of makes me wonder, like, Ryan, what are you talking about when you say let them roll their attributes? Or whatever. They don't. So essentially, you've got the background on them as a GM. How would that change the game? I think for the better. Others may disagree. Talk me out of it. And he continues, depending on the system, players still make all their rolls unless it's something that the GM would normally make a roll for. which he probably alludes to as like passive perception or something they may not be consciously be looking for, but maybe aware. The GM roles determines that and then conveys it, right? So when I read this, I thought, whoa, that's quite radical, if you will. Why is my chat not moving? Figures people are, there we go. There we go. Didn't move. I thought, man, Ryan, dude, that's some radical stuff. Okay. I mean, are you even in your right mind right now by writing that? I'm gonna put that out there. I'm gonna go check who's here and who's arrived since. Victor, good to see ya. Shambot, morning. Dorcas, morning. Morning. All topic is Sean really going to do a podcast again? I don't know where Orcus is getting that. Maybe. I think I probably threw something up on Blue Sky. I don't know. He's spreading a rumor. I'm not sure. Aaron, good to see ya. Tim, morning. Jeff, morning. Andy, morning. Doc, in the house. Is there a doctor in the house? Yes, that's Doc Flamingo. That's me. Doctor, can you help him? No. I'm merely a doctor in RPGs, not in real life. Kiddo has class this morning. Boom. Hashtag nailed it. Wayne, morning. Oh, congratulations, Wayne. Trumpet is kicking butt again with gifted membership. Congratulations. Thank you also, Trumpet. Much appreciated. Did I gloss over you and just like skip you some reason? Maybe you haven't chimed in this morning. That's okay. There's Trumpet. Tomatoes. Yeah. Zeal. Playing in the dark. What kind of cast is this? Yeah. Doc says I've done that in regards to Ryan. Have you? To what success or failure? Share. I think the style of game is very doable. I just don't want to do all the work. What's all the work? You do pre-gens at cons, right, Laramie? Boom, done. I guess, kind of. Like, fill out half the sheet, print it, fill out the rest of the sheet, keep it. Come on, man. Come on. Laramie, together you and I will get through this, I promise. Amber Diceless isn't far from that. While intriguing, sounds like a loss of player agency. Well, that would be my first kind of like, what? Hold on, let me get this straight. But it's not, to be clear, with player agency, I think there's a separation between player agency and the players knowing things. I think that's what Ryan's trying to get at. Because I have to speak on behalf of Ryan. He has to type in the chat. Therefore, I could put words into his mouth. That's the beauty of this platform. But going back to player agency, it doesn't prevent the players from doing what they want. Right? That's what I would equate to player agency. But some of that knowledge is part of what I think some of us find intriguing about games. Right? We know what our capabilities are. But it's like Jason Bourne. It would be the perfect example, right? Jason Bourne wakes up on a beach somewhere. He doesn't know who he is or what his background is or his identity or his previous training or anything. And then as things start to come back to him, he's got a lot of muscle memory. It's like, it's Neo in the Matrix. I know Kung Fu, right? Most LARPs are like that too. Blake says, not keen on that idea. Some players have real trouble envisioning things without a character sheet, maps, or minis. Agreed to some degree. Like, I think you could give them you can give them a character sheet, but you limit what's on there. So is that still fall into the purview of your comment, Blake? Does that matter? Does that change anything? So nobody's saying no character sheet. But what is on there? Like name, your description, I don't know, a vague memory of something. Trumpet, there you go. Thanks, buddy. Dorcas. Oh, That makes more sense than the initial post on the screen. I was going to say, no, turn the freaking lights on, Ryan. Right. Let's playing in the dark as far as players go. That's the context of the topic title is like, they're not fully aware. It's like the perfect example of, hey, haven't us as game masters, many of us, like just love to play a one shot or start our campaign with the players not knowing anything. They're amnesia, man. They wake up in a hospital. They wake up in a jail cell, and none of them know what happened prior to them getting there. Arrogant did something similar in the 90s in a sci-fi GURPS game where all PCs woke up on slabs in a lab. They made rolls, though. Yeah, okay. Making rolls, that's the thing. Mike says it used to be the case that the rules were not in the player's handbook. Players were not supposed to even know the rules. GM did all the roles. Mike's given us a lesson in some of the origins of our precious hobby. Tim says Fiasco's pretty close as well. No character sheets, no dice, and no GM. I got to play more Fiasco. We should bring that to Gamehole Con. That's a perfect after hours post-con day game. It's fun as hell. Tim continues, no dice after the startup anyway. So is the chat only subscriber only? It is. That's right. That's how I put the screws to people. Doc Flamingo. I gave them a sheet, but with ratings instead of numbers. This is good. I like this. This is a good happy medium. I like this, Doc. Example, very strong, average, intellect, etc. Right? Very strong, average, below average. Skills listed as novice, apprentice, journeyman, expert, or master. I got it. I'm with you. I'm picking up what you're putting down, Doc. Kristen says, I studied 9 years at Flamingo School to be a flamingo doctor. If I would have wanted to work on humans, I would have gone to veterinarian school. I like it. Michael, spread a man. Good to see you, man. Morning from Peru. What are you doing in Peru, man? Are you like literally on vacation in Peru and you decide to tune in? Thank you very much. Hey, bonus 100 XP to you, Michael. What is it with you guys? Coming from your homes or your basements like every week? Come on. Get out there, travel the world, and then tune in, okay? Michael's setting the bar. Just saying. Slackers rolling out of bed, turning on YouTube. Poos is probably complaining that it's still dark outside. I mean, come on. This guy's in Peru. Traveled all the way to Peru to tune in. Ran a few sessions of a homebrew system where the players didn't have character sheets or the rules. See? Jim is all over this. Jim's like, let's make this happen. I mean, come on. It should be standard. Doc continues. It was interesting. People liked seeing numbers. I think it would work best with new players. Now, that's a good point. They haven't been jaded or scarred. Jim, I interviewed them and offered choices during character creation so they had an idea of what their character was capable of, just not in a quantized way. For the Queen also qualifies. Tim's hashing out all this stuff. What is going on over here? Trumpet again? Coming from the wilds of Australia late Saturday night. Thanks, Trumpet. Much appreciated, man. I really do. Australian dollars, welcome here. Jim continues, the players loved it. No loss of agency. They just focused on the fiction and descriptions I was giving to decide what to do. Yeah, we got to have, to Jeff's point, I mean, part of me is like, if I sat down at a con game and the GM was like, here's your character sheet, and it's literally like the similar to something like a table tent, like your character's name, And that's kind of it. Add a like a kick-ass name like Rex Hammer or something, and have Rex be like the wimpiest of the group, right? Whoa, wouldn't that be a twist? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know, because how would they know? Well, you could judge a character by its name. Not really. But going to Jeff's point, like there's something to be said about role playing games and kind of aside from the games that Tim has put out there, there is a sense of like, who am I? What am I? What's the deal? What's my purpose? What's my motivation? What am I good at? And some people would say, even in traditional games, that's not always the case, because let's say you're playing like BX. How do you know? I mean, aside from the attributes, maybe like you're a smart or intelligent character, maybe you're dexterous, you understand that, but it doesn't really tell you who you are or what you do. It kind of gives you a little bit of an edge. But let's face it, we've all had characters that have had, say, outstanding stats, and we roll like crap. So in the party, we point to the thief and say, all right, thief, do your thing. And every thief thing the thief does, it's left up to a roll, and the roll sucks. And then the players in-game and the characters all kind of laugh at the thief, thinking like, oh, and this is our thief, the one that should be able to do all of the things that are going on. And then you get the barbarian or the fighter that does something similar to let me try, right? Let me try. Yeah, okay, whatever, fighter. And fighter goes in there, disables the trap, sticks the sword in it or whatever, triggers it, but nobody gets hurt. And they looks at everybody and kind of smiles, and everybody laughs. Right? It's moments in RPGs that can produce those things. Right? But the fact is, even if you've got a good attribute array, skills, doesn't mean you're really still good. It gives you an up, a leg up, but still. Ryan says, yes, it's opening the door to try anything versus, well, I'm not good at this, so I won't even try. That's the motivation behind Ryan's inquiry right there, which I can understand, right? Plus, like I said, was going back to some of the older games, or some of the games that even Tim mentions. The more you put on the sheet, it seems the answer is there somewhere. And with a trimmed down sheet, some of these old D&D BX games and things like that, there's not a lot there. It's like you as a player coming up with something interesting as a player, which then gets into the argument of player knowledge versus PC knowledge. And then it also gets into, well, what if I as a player am really good at negotiation, but my charisma, my player character is like a 5? And, how does that dynamic work? Or my character is the face person of the group, but I as a player am a little reserved and not really good. That conundrum, right? So I don't articulate how I negotiate a hostage deal because I'm probably pretty shitty at it as a player. But my character is like a veteran. He's done it for 20 years. Well, Sean, that comes down to dice rolls and blah, 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 or whatever. Or you just, as a good game master, just say, good game master, relative, or you just say, you know what, because you've done this 20 years, you go out there, you lay on the speech, takes you a few minutes, you go have a back and forth, and, the hostage or the negotiator gets a hostage released from the thing that's going on. Orcus, it's the foundation of the game, and the players are in. No agency lost. That's the foundation of any game. Oh, I've also done the amnesia character. Right. The amnesia game would work well. Victor, I played in one of those games at Gen Con 93. Turns out we were all flesh golems. We just had to guess at what we could and couldn't do. It was fun and a bit frustrating. Jeff continues. probably to correct me. A balance would be needed. Self-awareness is a big part of a person's psychology, man. Like Clint says, a man's got to know his limitations. Well, and I think in this particular scenario, if you were to pose this, let's make something very clear. Some people will grok this like all day. There's some people that aren't going to care for it at all. So there you go. Mileage may vary. To Jeff's point, like, how much would a character know? One, how much would they know, even just aside from not being it obvious in the player's face to convey that? Like, for example, if you looked at me physically, you would probably guess that I am not in the most fittest of condition. I know it's crazy. It's crazy. But believe it or not, behind this awesome black shirt is not the body of an Adonis, I will just say. And, I don't have a six-pack. I know you're shocked, but it's true. But if you had a character that was described in a physical way, they could be very fit. And if they're fit, you could potentially conclude that they are athletic in nature. Mind and wisdom's a little bit tougher. But, I don't think what I'm saying is a complete stretch. Doc says he only knew he had a skill if situation came up where he would realize he had it. For example, he knew he was a sailor once he found himself on a ship, etc. Well, and how do you put in like flashbacks? Like going to each character and having these visions flash through their brain, or these bouts of strange things going on. Jeff continues, for some people, game mechanics are a substantial part of the game. Like, if you were saying that, would you be saying that as a friend or for a friend, Jeff? Risk adds to the fun. Over time, that method of RPing would get old. Well, and I think if you were to start out a longer term arc with this premise, I think there's a couple scenarios you're going to run this, right? You're going to run it as a one shot. You're going to run it as a mini arc. It's like pretty standard, right? So one shot, a lot of it may not come out like for the long term. But if you ran a mini arc or a long-term arc, as you came to understand the character and how you would succeed, you could even say that the game master would record those successes and either contributing to who the character is or shaping the character in who they will be. And I say is as in maybe was also, right? So as you go through multiple sessions, maybe the character sheet starts to materialize, and then you become more like, this is who I am. It's also like, that isn't too far from when you create a first level character and you have maybe a concept in your head, but it really gets fleshed out the more you play the character in the different sessions. Like you find your own voice, you find your own niche, your own tics. Like the character, I think, most of the time when somebody starts out a role-playing game, level one, hey everybody, welcome to the first session. Thanks for creating all your level one characters. Let's go around and make introductions. Okay. Like, it probably isn't until the second or third or even maybe fourth session until you really you're in the groove of what that character is about. Case in point, playing Outcast Silver Raiders with Harrigan, Wayne, Kevin, and Phil. Man, it takes me like 4 sessions to even get my voice correct. Like literally, like if my character has an accent or some type of habit, like like the third or fourth session, the character I'm playing is probably like different than the first session, right? Snarky comments, not snarky comments, things of that nature. It's the player's way. of finding their own way. There's a lot of way in that statement. Doc says players hate not rolling their own dice, I've found. Have tried it. Do not recommend. FFFF. Ryan says, continues, you gotta help me out, brother. Or you start the game as an intelligence in an item. Magic sword, tech advanced hat, whatever. Your physical attributes are unknown. You could know your mental attributes. Okay, all right. Another scenario. Tim, a penny for my thoughts is an amnesia RPG, I guess, going all the way back to Metamorphosis Alpha. Oof, going back. Wayne, I've run the amnesia scenario a couple times. It can be fun, much more of a performance for the game master. Yeah. I don't think it, like I said, I don't think this is going to be for everybody. When I first read Ryan's, I'm like, oh, dude, if I had to sit down at a table and it was like, hey, guys, here's your character sheet, and it's an index card with your name on it, maybe your gender or whatever, and so maybe some physical traits, like you could actually just see like the height, weight, and what you're wearing. I'd be like, oh, okay, great. And then the GM kind of lays out the scenario. Sorry, you're all in a prison cell. Unless you're playing one of the games Tim mentioned, like Fiasco or, something that doesn't have these things to it. But we probably aren't playing those games because that's not our jam. And it's not our jam because maybe for some of the reasons we're talking about today. Just saying. I'm actually a flamingo PhD. I'm not a medical flamingo doctor. Oh. Or as Chad would say, okay. Harrigan's on the moon. Well, right. Wayne says DCC has a cool option. Scratch off sheets. You scratch off your stats when they come into play. Remember those? I believe Australian money is called dollaridoos. Dollaridoos. I'll take dollaridoos. Indeed. Thank you for educating me, Doc. Orcus, hey. That says a lot about Sean. Forget the Machu Picchu tour. I need to get my weekend rolling with the RPG Sean crew. Right? William Morning. Jeff says a character sketch and description could fill the void of game mechanics. Maybe. See, Jeff's coming around a little bit. He's coming around. The more he thinks about it. But I'm with you, Jeff. I'm not I probably wouldn't run that long term necessarily. Dude, Trumpet is on a tear. Thanks, Trumpet. Appreciate it. Mark, congratulations. You are the fine winner of a gifted membership. Trumpet continues, there are free Kriegspiel revival games that can be really, really rules light. Yeah, Kriegspiel. Look up that stuff, folks. Ryan says, I like this idea, Jeff. Your character sheet is a drawing, and don't forget to like and subscribe. I think the stream started and I already had 5 likes. I mean, come on. Talk about a head start. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Ryan, for the reminder. Tim, you should take a look at Decaying Orbit. You play a corrupted fragment of an AI aboard a damaged space station that is falling into a star. You have to piece together your memories and what happened. See, now there's a game where that component of what Ryan has posed enriches the game, in my opinion. But you got to set it up properly, right? That there's a purpose to that. That's a good one, Tim. Thanks for putting it out there, man. See that? Write that down, guys. Decaying Orbit. Jim, searching for Eisbach on the Discord server will bring up discussions about the game I ran and a link to the old forum thread and archive.org. Shambot, the game Sketch is kind of like that. You draw your character and then it is passed around to all the players and they give it stats based on the picture. What the freaking crazy, man. That's just crazy talk. You don't have to be an artist to make a character. I tell you what, if I am, if I'm an artist, interesting concept. Krista said Decaying Orbit is a favorite of mine. I've played all 4 scenarios and all are good. There you go. Testify. Orcus Dorcas says, I'm drawing a blank that isn't there. A sci-fi RPG where you start with little or no memories and you have to piece together your past? Who needs 6-pack when your coif is equivalent of a 12-pack? Hashtag making up for something not there. A 6-pack gives you 5 friends, a 12-pack, 11. Who is Ted? Or there could be a moment in the game when the characters get clarity and the GM slides over the complete character sheets to them. Yeah, that's true too. That would be true. That's it. That's a good one. The reveal. I could do like a one-shot. First 2 hours you don't know. Last 2 hours you do. They come across the video recording, right? They're on the ship, whatever. They come across the video recording before they got zapped with everything. And as they made their way around the ship, it's all recorded. They can view that as like a rerun of what led up to their memory loss. And then it all comes together for them. The big reveal is one of the characters is the a-hole that's sabotaging everything. And it becomes apparent right at that moment. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. And the saboteur, if you will, has been the one that has been advocating the most to kind of figure things out and doing the right thing. And then they realize, oh, up until this point, I was the one setting all of the explosives throughout the ship and blowing things up and sabotaging life support. And, oh, by the way, you're an android and not actually a person. Yes! As Brett would say, shitting diamonds over here. Steal it, folks. Run with it. Laramie says, I'm behind. Regarding bad rolls, DCC game last weekend, Cleric rolled probably 10 twos out of 15 rolls. Dude, dice rolling. Oh, I like rolling dice. Players like to roll dice a lot. Yeah, they do when like they work. Can you imagine being the player that rolled 10 twos? I'd be like, man, I got to go home. I've had those games. Ugh, gross. Every D20 game that I play, that's me. Like, I can't succeed at anything. That's why I need ones where you just like say you do it, and as long as it's not something stupid crazy, it just happens. Jim says, I don't think I'd run a game where the players don't know anything about all their characters. I was just trying to radically de-emphasize the mechanics from the player's perspective. Continues, they needed to know about their characters, if only to have something to grasp onto as they explore the world. Yeah, I agree, Jim. There's a line, right? There's a line. Oh, God. YouTube app, freaked out on my phone. Back catching up. Just throw the phone away, Harrigan. Get a new phone. He's talking to Orcus. There have been a few, and I know Rob Schwalb had an idea for Shadow of the Demon Lord. That's SOTDL, folks. You got to know these. You put them in your glossary of RPG terms to understand. Shadow of the Demon Lord based sci-fi game that involved leveling equaling coming out of hypersleep. Jim says hiding character sheets and keeping the mechanics is a different sort of challenge. Yeah, it is. Aaron, good to see you. Thanks for chiming in. I added an amnesia mechanic to my game. It's been a while, but I'm pretty sure the gist of it was the GM, pretty sure, he starts to remember. Aaron himself had amnesia. No, I'm just kidding. The gist of it was the GM holds the character sheet and the PC isn't allowed to look at it until it is resolved. Interesting. Orcus, you play amnesiacs in a massive space station. Aaron continues, it worked all right because I also have a memory skill roll mechanic. Oh, interesting. Jim says over 2,000 subscribers too. Oh, yeah, man. Yeah. Milestone. Orcus from Nibiru, the innovative memos system, which builds your character as you unearth and write their lost memories, rewarding your creativity. See, there's like some kind of like angles that I could see this really be like, okay, as it's first presented, wait, whoa, wait, hold on a second. What game did I just sign up here at Game Holcon? What is this? 3x5 card with my character's name. That's it. What am I doing? Who am I? Come on. To, there's here's the premise. Here's how this all works. Right? Tad says all players, okay, talk me off the ledge, right? Tad says all players get is an 8x10 headshot of the 1980s character actor who is cast as their character. Right. Yes. What you do is you, like, it's primetime adventures, but they don't know they're in a TV show. And so they think that they're playing a science fiction mothership game, but they're actually on an enclosed set. Maybe it's real life TV. They don't know how they're Running Man, right? Or I don't know. They're like actors playing characters in the game, but they don't know it. Write that down. Nibiru is on my to-read list. If people are interested in trying it out, I could run a game sometime towards the end of the year. There you go, folks. Jim says the closest I came to Amnesia game was having characters wake up in the bottom level of a dungeon as level 1 characters with no idea how they got there. They had to piece together what happened. But they had character sheets. Well, there's where you went wrong, Jim. He's amnesic, Jim. He's a player, not a GM, Jim. In the GURPS game I ran, they had blank sheets. I had all the stats and skills. As they tried things, I revealed attributes, skills, advantages, disadvantages. They filled out the sheets as they went. They did all turn out to be androids. Yes. Their programming went awry. As they start to reconnect those the circuitry, it becomes apparent on who they are. Yes. Defrag the hard drive, man. Jim, there are some magic time travel shenanigans going on. Different parts of the dungeon were from different time periods, haphazardly mashed together. The idea being the character had been battling some evil wizard and a spell went awry that broke time in the area around the dungeon. Jim. Genius. Mike, if the goal of not having a sheet is to encourage a role play, why not just focus on staying in the character frame during play in general? I don't know. You're sure? Michael, trauma flashback. At Gamehole, my cleric rolled bad enough to lose all spells, and then he designed and then be designed by their god. It was painful. Trumpet says that's a what the heck? My thing's popping around. That's a cyberpunk scenario. I think they were on a reality TV show but didn't know it. Disowned, not designed. Let me read Michael's again. Trauma flashback at GameholeCon. My cleric rolled bad enough to lose all spells, and then be disowned by their god. It was painful. I feel like the Between has a bit of a parallel. The player knows who they are, but limits what they tell people unless it's been triggered or sometimes part of the story. Surprised there's not a Blade Runner replicant version. Doc says, I want to run a game with the actual players having amnesia. Just remember, you can kill characters, you can't kill players. Okay? Doc continues, perhaps, though, an extended period of sensory deprivation and massive doses of PCP. I will experiment and let you guys know how it works. Well, great. Now we all have to testify. Now we're going to have to testify. Thanks, Doc. Doc running mad RPG experiments. Kristen says, I'm surprised also no one has mentioned the amazing Psy run where you're amnesiac mutants running from the government. As time goes on, or other players create mirror memories based on dice rolls. Arrogant says, with a sheet, some folks cannot, he's referring to somebody up above, with a sheet, some folks cannot stay in the character frame. It's one of the reasons why people without sheets make rolls for the players, which we shouldn't overstate. It's rare. Indeed. Player amnesia, which one's the D12? Whoa, player amnesia, what is a role-playing game? Is this one of those nerdy things? Is this D&D? Are we playing D&D? I heard about it. Is this like Call of Duty? You play Call of Duty? Oh, Gloomhaven. Oh, I played Gloomhaven. What's a gaming convention? I ran Forget Me Not by Stygian Fox for COC. Call Cthulhu, folks, for those not in the know. You started out with amnesia and learned things you played. Your skill was revealed only after you rolled. It was fun, but a bit of extra work to manage. Tim, seconds Psy run. Here again, I played a couple cool games of Psy run. This guy, what is going on here? Trumpet. Doc Flamingo playing MK Ultra, the RPG. Yes, MK Ultra. Dude, I listened to a podcast. If you haven't listened, if you want to know about MK Ultra, aside from like all the research you can do online, of all places, I heard it a good episode or series on the Rest is Classified podcast. And I think, Ryan, you turned me on to that podcast, right? It's literally about real life espionage stories. One host is an ex-CIA analyst, and the other one I think is ex-MI6, if I'm not mistaken. And they talk about a lot of different spies and spycraft and real life. And they went into MK Ultra. I was like, if you haven't like looked into that, crazy. No one who plays Gloomhaven gets to dunk on RPGs. No. Orcus, how about a game where the players have to recap the last session of a bi-weekly RPG titled Blank Stare? Well, we play that every week. I mean, at least one of my games is that. I won't tell you which one. Have you played RPGs for a while? There are people who have played D&D for many years who still don't know what their characters' powers are. Shots fired? Is that me? Is that Tim? Are you talking about me? Wayne says I ran a champions game. Champions. Can we call it champions? I believe it's French. Where everybody made up normal person. They woke up in the aftermath of a supernatural ritual where demons had been bound to their bodies. The demons were supposed to be in control of their forms, but the ritual was interrupted by supers who were then after the PCs. Craziness. Craziness ensues, I tell you. Oh, I did not know this. It has been. Ted Kaczynski was an MK Ultra alumni. Oh, interesting. Did not know that. The rest is classified. I'll look it up. Yeah, the rest is classified. It's by, they've got a few if you like they've got a World War I or World War II podcast and a few others, but it's on the Goal Hanger network of shows. Goal Hanger. Fragile must be French. Yes. That's not how you spell fragile, by the way. It's Fragile. Fragile. All right. So I expect many of these games to hit tables where your RPGs are found. It's not for everybody. Hey, shocker. It's not for everybody. Oh, that's crazy. Somebody might not like it. What? That's nuts. That is nuts. But it is a concept, and some of the games that do that have a particular way of, it's like a part of the game, which could be really cool. All right? Your homework assignment for next time, by the way, Sean. Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. They are for everybody to try at least once, Tim says. I don't know. I don't like beans. I've tried them once, I guess. I have tried them once. So I guess Tim is right. I thought Sean was brainstorming for his game hole game. Hey, I've never used the chat in such a way as to crowdsource or get information. That would be deceptive, deceitful, underhanded, and probably a pretty damn good idea, actually. I wouldn't spring any of my weirder RPG ideas on an unsuspecting group or pull a bait and switch. Jim just wants to put that out there, and that's his last statement of the chat. Just want to say, I would never encourage anybody to do this as a bait and switch or without their known example. Green Oaks, Alzheimer's. I gotta get that prepped. That's gonna be off grid. Oh, excuse me. Michael says I was in a great Mutant Crawl Classics game run by Christopher Rick. Two first names. I can't. Just kidding, Christopher. Where we started as blobs with potential and then answered questions that allowed the AI to form us into characters with stats. Oof. Yeah. Yeah, too close for sure. Yikes. And then Michael says, when we died, the AI would bring us back, but with mutations in our DNA code. Whoa. Whoa. Primordial goo. All right, let's get into some other stuff. Let's get into the stuff. Thanks for contributing. Thanks for the question, Ryan. Much appreciated. Spurred good conversation. Thank you. Let's get into RPG. I don't have any RPG news. Is there any real good news? I don't have much news. I don't have news at all. There's no news. There's absolutely nothing going on in RPGs today. At least newsworthy here. Am I right? Bundles? I don't have really any bundles either. There's bundles on drive-thru you could find at Geek Native. They have a bundle section every week. Yeah. How about print news? Because everything's coming out on print. Hey, can I just say something? Okay, well, hold on. I'm really bummed. Free League has let me down. That's right. You heard it here. Free League has let me down. Where is my Coriolis? Apparently, it was at Gen Con. That's where my Coriolis book is. Man. Due to unforeseen circumstances, things out of our control, things are delayed. We don't know when you'll get it. We're hoping by the 12th of August. And this is a correction. It's an issue. I'm issuing a correction from months and months and months and months ago, where Free League's track record of delivering crowdfunding campaigns was impeccable. As a matter of fact, some of them have even arrived early. And I applauded them and I set the bar up here. Coriolis is not only late, but I was like, let's admit it. There is a little irksome, like, okay, I don't have my books, but they're at Gen Con. Right? We've all been there. Most of us have been there. That thing better show. Like, there's people that actually have it here in the U.S. I don't even know how. Maybe it's Canada. Maybe I'm mistaken. But I figured I say this and I put this out there because I just don't want people like you to think I'm just a yes man and that everything's just roses and, unicorn farts over here. Okay. Just because I'm a fan of a company doesn't mean I follow them blindly. Okay. All right. I'm just saying. Come on, Tomas. And I think part of it was like, we don't know when you're going to get them. So hopefully by August 12th. I gotta stop backing stuff that's gonna be in a store and then just wait for it to be in the store. Well, you should have been at Gen Con. Yeah, then I'd have to buy a copy and then I'd get one at home. Great. Yeah, probably. It's kind of bungled up. They are also shipping the books separately from the boxes. I have half my order. Yeah, man. Free League shipping late? No way. If only there was a precedent for this to happen. Hey. Michael, yeah. Hyde's copy of Coriolis, The Dark. Yeah, see? See? That guy has his. Should have been a Gen Con. You should have been a Gen Con. It should have been a Gen Con, Sean. Yeah, pallets of it there. They should have been a Gen Con. Oh, do I have words? Daryl, listen, support your local game store. Okay. All right, okay. I got you. Okay, all right. Okay. Some of this stuff, though, let's admit, though, Daryl, there's an epic butt ton of stuff that is crowdfunded that just never makes it to the game store because they're just never going to carry it. And I don't blame them because they're just never going to sell it in some markets. Some of them are so niche. Can we really blame tariffs on FL? I don't know. I don't think they've ever said, well, because of tariffs. Maybe they did. I don't know. But I think like back in the logistics days when everything was blamed on logistics and shit like that. I don't know. Dudes, I wanted to say that because I'm like looking and I'm like, wait a minute. Has it shipped? What's going on? And then I heard it was at Gen Con. I'm like, wait a minute. So it's just like kind of piled up recently. And I'm like, wait a minute. When was the promise date? And I think it was was it March of this year? May? Like, okay, it's late, but come on, man. And then, I haven't gotten a shipping notice, but I don't know if I will. Did you guys get shipping notices? I'm guessing not. There's so many things to blame things on nowadays. And it's like, okay, I guess. I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility. And then it just becomes like this weird go-to phrase. Like, blame Gremlins. I'd rather blame Gremlins. Anyone selling a Kickstarter before the backers get it should be shamed into the ground during their next 3 years of crowdfunds. That's bullshit. Well, as a company, they're in a pickle because they've got they got pallets of these things, and they mostly get their stuff printed. I think mostly in Lithuania for the most part, or at least I don't know. I don't know if they separate like X in Lithuania because then we could ship it out of Lithuania and get it through Europe easier. I don't know. But I understand the conundrum because they're going to be at Gen Con. The book is done. It's out of the printers. They can order pallets of the thing. They just can't get it to Sean's address for some reason in a timely fashion because the distribution site, channels or tariffs or borders or, dude. And trust me, Canadians are like, dude, get over it. I understand, like Canadians, probably some Aussies, I don't know. But I know Canadians are like, Kristen's probably like, dude, suck it up, Sean. Like, do you know what we have to deal with? No, kind of, sort of. But I'm an American. I'm entitled. Okay? Like, I should have everything that I want first. Period. Bar none. Just saying. If you don't like it, what they're doing and can't, you should move. Spoken like a true American, right? Oh, shit. I just wanted to put it out there like, God, man, Dolman would, oh, God, that thing. Jeez. Can we just like wait? Okay, and then there's the people who are like, dude, Sean, hey, what happened to positive force, man? What about? Come on, man, positive force, dude. Whatever. We can unleash. Not saying anything that's not true. Except the Canada thing. Like, shouldn't move. Canada's a good place. Love Canadians. Just saying. Why would a company pass up the opportunity to sell thousands of copies at a convention? That's right. That's the conundrum. I totally get it. Many of which wouldn't be purchased elsewhere. That's, yeah. They have to, they almost have to do it. So, you know, I get it. I do really get it. I mean, you can't just be like, oh, we can't do it because it's not the right thing. It's not illegal. They're not doing anything ridiculous. It's just good faith is what it is. And sometimes you got to throw good faith out the window if you're going to be a company because you got to make money. Hail capitalism. Yeah. Vote for capitalism. Capitalism 1, Sean 0. Huh. I get it. Just anyway, I want to put it out there. Print news. Let's get into print news. Print news. Coriolis the Dark is out. Just saying. Anyways. RPG print news at EN World. Okay, just saying. Milk. Quick delve number 1, milk. Dear EN World, get a lower res picture, please. I'm like bringing up their website for like basically free and bitching at them about their picture. Yeah, it's one of those. It's like, yeah. OSC softcover zine, $12. It's out there if you want it. Death Steps like a Cubicle 7 for Warhamster Fantasy Roleplay 4th edition. If you want that, get it. If you're a fan, you might have already gotten it. Next one, Faster Purple Worm, Everybody Dies, Volume 1, Beetle and Grimm. $45, Faster Purple Worm show somewhere, web series. D&D 5e, 424 edition, whatever. There you go, yeah. Amethyst Quintessence, Amethyst Revelations by DS Ex Machina for D&D. Hardcover, $69 each is out. Not last one. Excuse me, Rapscallion GM Screen and Rapscallion Skull Dice Pack by Magpie Games. It's for PBTA. PC's part of a crew of misfit pirates with their own ship explore the waters of the Great Sea hunting treasure. There you go. Next one, Forest of Exile by Exalted Funeral Press. System for Shadowdark, an adventure for low-level PCs who are asked to protect a village, aid Fey exiles, and seek out who or what has wreaked chaos in the Forest of Exile. Next one, Hexen Volume 1, the Antiquarian Anthology by Exalted Funeral Press for Outcast Silver Raiders. Man, I need to get that. Dude. Talked about on the Discord. I do not have it. Somebody asked. I do not have it. Playing it in the game right now, but don't have it. I don't know if I should get it. I don't know if Outcast Silver Raiders is going to make it to the play all the time shelf. I don't know. Dice silver with tiger, cub. Dice gold and teal with duck. Or by Old School Dice and Accessories. Hey, system RPGs that use dice. It's not for D&D. These dice you can use for any RPG. I know. Go figure. It's great. Good to know. Those dice interest me. Canadians looking at the Coriolis delivery like James Franco with a noose around his neck first time here. The meme. Yeah, right. Yeah. Too funny. That's it for print news. That's it right there. So, yeah, print. Print. Saying. Let's talk about crowdfunding campaigns. You want your money, and maybe you'll get your product someday, somewhere, sometime. Someday, sometime, somewhere. There's a song about it somewhere, I think. There is. This thing, I don't even know if I got on it. I don't think I did. So some of you know that I kind of like Shadowdark. This thing, $234,000. Most popular pledge, 149 bones, 3 books. First level pre-gens, 15 mini adventures, an entry into their dungeon design contest, and a PDF preview and a beta test of forthcoming Deathbringer TTRPG. Fourth, roll for combat. Monster Hunt, Shadowdark, Battle Zoo Bestiary, Strange and Unusual Shadowdark, Battle Zoo Bestiary, and Elemental Storm, Shadowdark, Battle Zoo Bestiary. These books provide hundreds of monsters to fight. Well over 300. A monster parts crafting system to make fantastic items from these noxious parts. New classes and hundreds of digital files, tokens, and more. Doomguard. Board game and tabletop role-playing game. Both from the makers of Savage Worlds. 75,000 funded. Legendary Planet, Cosmic Adventure for 5e, Pathfinder, and more. For D&D 5th Edition 2024, Tales of the Valiant, Pathfinder 1 and 2e, Starfinder 1 and 2e, Tales of the Valiant 2e, MCDM 1, MCDM 2, Black Orc. Just name them all. 700 pages. 700 pages. $99. Psst, it's not big enough. 700? Is that all you got? Is that all you got, Legendary Games? Whatever. Sword and Planet. Adventures taking you from levels 1 to 20. Inspired by Flash. John Carter of Murs, Black Moor, and Stargate. This adventure path has different options for different levels, starting with first exposure to a jailbreak to star travel and dangerous worlds. 200 of the pages in this tome dedicated to new rules, monsters, and more. 700. I think they called it quits. Probably had it out, spec'd out to 1,000. And they're like, 700 is good enough. I'm like, come on, man. Come on. Get it over the finish line, Legendary. Snark. Weapons of Legend powered by Draw Steel from Jeff Stevens Games. Backer Kits, MCDM Productions. Game powered by Draw Steel. Draw Steel. Shaw. What if I draw iron? It's probably pretty heavy. Draw Steel. That's how it's going to be referred to moving forward. Draw Steel! Cobalt Ancestry, powered by Draw Steel! Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Yeah. Powered by Draw Steel. See? MCDM. Draw Steel everywhere. Let's do it. See what happens. Next thing, Living Minis animated RPG miniatures from Hit Point Press. That's funded. So here's a question I have for you. Here's a question. When you look at crowdfunders, so you guys can all chime in before you leave, for crowdfunding campaigns moving forward, who does the most, who is the most successful? We'll remove the D's and D's. Okay, if it's D&D proper, if it's system D&D 2024 or D&D 5e, those are removed because we all know they automatically fund. Okay, they just do. You just have to slap that on there and then deliver a PBTA product. That's the solution. So, out of Tales of the Valiant, MCDM, I know the answer to this, by the way, so it's kind of a trick question. MCDM and Shadowdark. Maybe Pathfinder. Put in Pathfinder 2. Why not? Put Pathfinder in there. Which ones get funded the most? I already know, and I think it's going to be overwhelming in the chat. You take all the game systems now that are like, dude, OGL sucks, man. Up yours. We're going to do our own game, man. Tales of the Valiant, MCDM, Draw Steel. Pathfinder is kind of they've been around, so it's kind of one. Shadowdark's probably not a direct, it's not a direct one of these to the OGL because it's its own, it's different, but we're seeing them bubble up, right? These games like getting on crowdfunding campaigns, and it's like, boom, bam, boom, funded, boom, funded again. Talk about it. Let's get it. Shadowdark. 5e still gets the most. Wayne, rules to play. No 5e, no 24. Mothership, or Mothership Shanbot, dirty little bugger. That's true too. But Mothership, I find like the funding, they're small runs, which is fine. But you're right, they don't all have to fund. Mothership's a big one. Geez, Mouse Ritter 2 at some point, maybe? Holy cow, now it's spiraling out of control. Shadowdark gets funded the most. Daggerheart is the biggest recent. Ooh, Daggerheart 2. What's up, Hobbs? What's up, Scott Hubbs? Where you been, buddy? Hey, where you been? You don't text me? You don't hit me up on Discord anymore? You don't hit me up for lunch anymore? Where? Shadowdark offerings is the new Mork Borg. Oh, Mork Borg. Like you should track these. Like it's the era of the Berg. Mork Berg. Path of DC Hobbs. Oh, Daggerheart keeps momentum. I would say Shadowdark for sure. Like that's black and silver, man. Black, silver for Shadowdark. Bam, boom, funded. Bam, boom, funded. I assure you, I only had coffee this morning and my water. Nothing more.
Right.
All right. Let's get back to the action here. Pets and Sidekicks. I think we've had this one on there before. By Ian Publishing. It's already done. 83,000 quid, man. Where are the folks? Dude, England must just be filled with the people playing this game. Like, their crowdfunding campaigns are like easily close to 100,000 quid. I don't know. That's it. That's it. That's all I got. There you go. That's all I got. That's all I got. I don't know. I don't know what else to talk about. Thanks to all these folks here for providing a few shekels each month. Ear Trumpet, I got to put you on there for the gifted subs that you contribute each and every week. Thank you very much to everybody here, as well as Ear Trumpet. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you for being here. Because, talking into the void, I mean, I could do it, but it wouldn't be that fun. And I actually appreciate each and every one of you, even your wrong opinions. I do appreciate it. I do. Believe it or not, I do. Thank you so much. If you would be so kind, ads are turned off. Don't make me turn them on. Hit the like button. Otherwise, you leave me no choice. I mean, because I know the demographics of you guys in the audience, and there are Cialis commercials just waiting to be streamed in the middle of this thing. Cutting me off, boom, Cialis. Your alter ego in a bathtub overseeing the Grand Canyon somewhere. It's right there. I just have to enable it. That's all. Just saying. Yeah, I'm starting to get a little edgy, a little threatening maybe. I don't know, whatever. If you like this, I'll be here every 8 a.m. Central Time, right here, each Saturday, until they take my mic, and they won't take my mic away. Not yet, anyway. And it still works. So there you go. Oh my goodness. I hit the wrong button. Anyways, check out this video if you like what you see here. There's videos on this channel. Otherwise, go play some games. Take care of yourselves. And thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. And we'll see you on the next one. Ciao.